Hi, friends. Today's story is one that truly touches the heart. A mother who spent 25 years sacrificing everything for her son was publicly humiliated at that very son's wedding. The bride said, "Get out. You cannot stay here." But what no one knew was that the mother had been quietly preparing something of her own, and that preparation turned the entire wedding upside down. When the truth finally came out, everyone was left shocked. This is a story of sacrifice, betrayal, and ultimate justice. Listen to the very end because the twist is huge. My name is Sarah Thompson. For 27 years, I raised my son Ethan alone after his father walked out on us when Ethan was barely 3. I was 25 then, working 2 jobs, waitressing nights at a diner and cleaning offices during the day, so Ethan could have new shoes, books, and the occasional birthday cake that wasn't from the day-old rack. I never complained. Not out loud. Mothers don't get that luxury when the alternative is watching their child go without. Ethan grew into a kind, quiet, brilliant young man. Top of his class in high school, full scholarship to law school, now a junior associate at a respected firm in Chicago. Every late night I spent folding laundry while he studied, every time I pretended I wasn't exhausted so he could focus on his dreams, it all felt worth it the day he called me crying happy tears because he'd proposed to the woman he said was the one. Her name was Lauren Whitaker. Lauren was polished in a way I never was. Designer handbag, perfect highlights, Instagram feed full of rooftop cocktails and weekend getaways. She worked in corporate PR, always talking about personal branding and networking leverage. Ethan adored her. I wanted to adore her too. For his sake, I tried. But small things started piling up. She never asked about my life, not once. When Ethan told stories from his childhood, how I taught him to ride a bike in the empty parking lot behind our apartment building because we couldn't afford the park fees, Lauren would smile tightly and change the subject to her latest campaign, or how stressful it was planning a destination wedding when everyone expects perfection. She once referred to my 2008 Honda Civic as vintage in a tone that made it sound like an insult. When I offered to help with wedding planning, maybe make the centerpieces like I used to do for Ethan's school events, she laughed lightly and said, "Oh, Sarah, that's so sweet, but we've hired professionals. You just relax and enjoy being the mother of the groom." I swallowed the sting and nodded. Then came the prenup conversation. Ethan brought it up casually over Sunday dinner at my small apartment. "Ethan thinks it's smart," he said, avoiding my eyes. "Protects both of us. Her family's well off. They want to make sure everything's fair." I asked to see the document. The clauses were not fair. If they divorced within the first 7 years, Ethan would owe Lauren and, indirectly, her family trust, a percentage of his future earnings, starting at 35% and tapering only after 15 years. There were also provisions about intellectual property from his legal work and clauses that seemed designed to protect Lauren's family business interests if Ethan ever represented clients in opposition to them. I pointed this out gently. Ethan got defensive. "Mom, you're reading too much into it. Lauren's dad is just cautious. He's a businessman." I didn't push, but I started paying closer attention. 3 months before the wedding, I quietly changed how I handled the finances for the big day. The venue, a stunning restored barn outside the city, was $42,000. Catering, $18,000. Florist, $9,000. Photographer, $7,500. Lighting and sound, $6,200. I had saved for years, taken extra shifts, cashed in an old life insurance policy for my mother. The total came to just over $110,000, more than I ever imagined spending on anything. But I paid every invoice myself, not through Ethan's account, not through Lauren's wedding planner, directly from my checking account and credit card. I asked the vendors to list me as the primary contact and billing party. I told them it was for surprise reasons. Most of them smiled and agreed. Mothers paying for weddings is common. I also asked for a clause in every contract. Full payment, non-refundable, but service could be canceled by me with 24-hour notice, no questions asked, deposit forfeited only if less than 48 hours. I hoped I'd never need it. The morning of the wedding, June 14th, I woke at 5:30 a.m. I laid out the navy dress I'd bought on clearance. Lauren had suggested something more elegant, but this was what I could afford. I did my makeup carefully. I wanted to look nice for Ethan. I arrived at the venue at 2 p.m. The ceremony was scheduled for 4. Guests were already mingling in the garden. Ethan looked handsome in his charcoal suit, nervous but smiling when he saw me. He hugged me tight. "You okay, Mom?" "Never better," I lied. Lauren appeared 10 minutes later in her custom gown, ivory lace, cathedral train, easily $15,000. She looked like a magazine cover. She gave me a quick air kiss near the cheek. "Sarah, you made it. Good." Her tone was polite, too polite. The ceremony began at 4:05. We stood under a flower arch. The string quartet played Pachelbel's Canon. Ethan's eyes never left Lauren. Then came the vows. Ethan went first, his voice cracked with emotion. "Lauren, I promise to love you, support you, build a life with you." When it was her turn, she smiled beautifully. Then she paused. She turned slightly, not toward Ethan, but toward me. Her voice carried across the quiet lawn. "Before we continue, I need to say something." The quartet stopped. Guests shifted uncomfortably. Lauren looked directly at me. "Sarah, I appreciate everything you've done for Ethan, really, but this is our day, our moment, and honestly, you've been hovering, clinging. It's uncomfortable for everyone." A murmur rippled through the crowd. Ethan's face went pale. "Lauren, what are you—" She held up a hand. "No, Ethan, let me finish. Sarah, I think it would be best if you left, right now. We can celebrate properly without distractions." The silence was deafening. I felt every pair of eyes on me. My son looked horrified, but he didn't speak. I stood slowly. My legs felt like concrete. I met Ethan's eyes. He opened his mouth, but no sound came. I turned and walked down the aisle between rows of shocked guests. My heels clicked on the wooden path. I didn't cry, not yet. I reached the parking area, got into my car, and closed the door. Then I took out my phone. First call, venue manager. "Hi, this is Sarah Thompson. I'm canceling all services effective immediately." A stunned pause. "Ma'am, the ceremony is happening right now." "Not anymore. Check your contract. I'm the paying party. Cancel everything. Venue, power, water features, sound system, all of it." I heard him swearing under his breath. "You're serious?" "Dead serious." Next call, catering lead. "Cancel. Pull the food. Take it back." "But the cocktail hour." "Cancel." Florist, photographer, DJ, one by one. Within 12 minutes, the venue lights flickered and died. The string quartet packed up. Servers began wheeling out chafing dishes. Guests started whispering frantically. I stayed in my car, hands shaking. My phone rang. Ethan. I answered. "Mom?" His voice was raw. "What the hell is happening?" I took a breath. "I paid for everything, Ethan. Every dollar. And I just canceled it." Silence. "Why?" "Because your fiancé just humiliated me in front of 200 people. And because I've seen the prenup. I've seen the bank statements her father's business manager sent by mistake last month because he thought I was you. I know about the $380,000 in credit card debt her family is drowning in. I know she's been meeting her ex, the one with the yacht, at hotels downtown while you were pulling all-nighters for bar prep. Another long silence. You knew? I suspected. I hoped I was wrong, but today proved I wasn't. I heard shouting in the background. Lauren's voice. Hi. Panicked. Ethan, don't listen to her. She's jealous. She's ruining everything. Ethan's voice came back, quieter. Mom, where are you? Parking lot. But I'm leaving. Don't, please, wait. I hung up. 10 minutes later, he appeared at my car window. Tie loosened, eyes red. I rolled it down. He didn't speak at first, just stood there, breathing hard. Then she told me you paid because you wanted control, that you were trying to buy influence. I believed her. I know. I'm so sorry. I looked at my son, the boy I carried through fevers, the teenager who cried when I worked Christmas, the man who was supposed to start his forever today. You don't have to apologize for loving someone, I said. You just have to stop when they stop deserving it. He nodded slowly. Behind him, chaos unfolded. Lauren's mother was screaming at the venue staff. Her father was on the phone, red-faced. Guests milled around, confused, posting to social media. Ethan glanced back once. Then he opened my passenger door and got in. Let's go home, he said. We drove in silence for 20 minutes. Finally, he spoke. How long did you know? About the debt? 6 weeks. About the cheating? 4. About the prenup being a trap? Since the day you showed it to me. Why didn't you tell me? Because you wouldn't have believed me. You had to see it. He laughed, a broken sound. I saw it today, in front of everyone. I reached over and squeezed his hand. We pulled into my driveway just as the sun dipped low. Inside, I made tea. Ethan sat at the kitchen table where he used to do homework. He stared at the cup. I called the firm, he said. Told them I'm taking a week. Maybe more. Good. I'm going to talk to a lawyer, a different one, about the prenup. About everything. I nodded. Mom? Yes? Thank you for protecting me, even when I didn't want protecting. I smiled, eyes stinging. That's what mothers do. The next morning, the internet exploded. Guests had filmed everything. Lauren's public demand that I leave, my quiet walkout, the lights going dark, servers packing food. Hashtags trended. Hashtag wedding scam. Hashtag toxic bride. Hashtag mother knows best. By noon, someone leaked screenshots of the prenup clauses. Anonymously, of course. By evening, a financial blogger connected the dots to Whitaker Family Holdings, multiple bankruptcies, tax liens, and a pattern of using marriages to bail out failing ventures. Lauren's PR career took a nosedive. Clients dropped her. Her Instagram went private, then disappeared. Her family tried to spin it, said I was bitter and manipulative, but the evidence was too strong, too public. Ethan never spoke to her again. He moved back in with me for a month while he found a new apartment. We cooked together, watched old movies, talked about everything except weddings. One night, over spaghetti, he said, I used to think success meant money, big house, fancy car. Now, I just want to be someone you're proud of. I reached across the table. I've always been proud of you. Always. 6 months later, Ethan started his own small practice, helping people who couldn't afford big firms. Pro bono cases, fair fees, no predatory prenups. I still drive the same Honda. I still work doubles sometimes. But now, when I come home tired, my son is there with coffee and a hug. And that's worth more than any barn wedding ever could be.